So let's put together the rig. Putting together the rig is not that bad. It does, like anything, require you to do it over and over again. So once you do it over and over again, it'll get into your muscle memory and you don't have to panic. But right now it just looks like a lot of different pieces that look similar and may not work or do work, but not to the way that you think that they do. So let's start with the rods. Here are your rods. There should be 4 in total. I think there should be 4 in total. There are 4 in total. We're going to start with the longest rod. And maybe you're not too sure which one it is, you're confused, but one, it should be longer than all the other ones, and if you look at the 2 ends, blue tip, and then this is a screw piece. So this is going to screw into our shoulder harness. Should be a hole. Screw it in. Fantastic. Let's put this off to the side. We have our 2 pieces, we have 3 pieces left, but let's take a look at the pieces that are the exact same size, these 2. We're going to go to this piece now, and this is really kind of the heart of everything. This screw on top is where the camera's going to go. The camera's going to face that way, and then everything's going to be built around this part here and going outwards. So let's make it so that way it's facing like this. We're going to loosen our screws here. Sometimes they loosen so much that they may fall off, so certainly if you've packed away in a bag and you don't have 1, 2, 3, 4 blue screws, check to see if it's inside the bag. The long part is going to extend like this, so why don't we put it like here where it goes in, and we just tighten it a little bit. So we're doing it so that it juts out, and all of this can be undone and readjusted. So if you feel like it's not enough or too much or too little, you can always change it. So I'm just putting in the tip and then tightening it in, so it's not like I put it in and slide it all the way through. That might take too much time or may not even fit. So again, I've started where in the front and just put in the back end and tightened it. So far so good. Okay, great. So what else am I putting on? Well, I want to put on the handles, the grips. So we have this right here. Now, eventually this is going to be holding that initial piece we made, the shoulder mount. So if you want the shoulder mount on your left or right hand side, that will determine how you put it on, like this, or like this, or like this. So I want the grip to be on my right hand side, so I'm going to put it like this, but you can always just reverse the bar, or you can take this off and put it away. I also think that I have an older model, so the newer models I think look like it's curved. So either way, it should be on there already, but if not, then it should make sense about how it fits, and you can always make an adjustment. So we have the 2 remaining ports on the bottom. I'm going to loosen the screws, slide it in like so, and ideally I want it to line up and be even. And again, this can always be adjusted. This should be flipped upwards, and everything can always be maneuvered later if I'm inaccurate or I'm off or something moves or I get it wrong. So let's tighten this. I think the big mistake people make is that they make it so tight that they need a wrench or a He-Man to undo it. Again, it's just you're doing it tight enough so that it doesn't move and there's not a lot of give. Great. So far so good. So now I get my brace. Goes on top like this. I'm going to unscrew it, slide it in, and then it's an adjustment. And then based on how is my shoulder, tighten it. Great. Like this. So far so good. Oh, looks like a little tilted, so let me unscrew it, lift this up a little bit, tighten again. Looks like it's parallel. Yeah, more or less, sounds good. Looks like it's all straight. And it goes on my shoulder, but how do I grip it? Well, this is where I get my handles. So you have your 2 handles, and you're trying to figure out which handle goes on what side. Well, your hand should be able to go and grip the light blue part and go and follow your thumb. So this isn't happening. I'm gripping the outside, so let's try the other one. Aha. I grip it, my hand covers it, my thumb goes over here. Looks good. So this looks like it's the right grip. Not the correct grip, I mean literally the right side grip. So put it like this, tighten it. And again, once you put the camera on, that will determine if you have to make an adjustment, if you need to make it tighter, if you need to move stuff left or right. Or either way, I think I got the gist of it. Okay. Looks good. I got the grips, I've got my shoulder mount, now I'm almost done mounting stuff on the front of the camera. Here is our follow focus. Now, the question is, do I put it on the left side or the right side? Doesn't really matter, except it matters based on the lens that you're using, because your lens may be different lengths. You want this gear part to hit your part of the lens that determines focal distance, and that's basically how you focus your camera. So based on how your lens is, you may have to put it on the left-hand side because of where the gear is. You may have to put it on the right-hand side where the gear is. So I normally favor having it on the left-hand side, but again, if I have it on the right, that's fine too. But I'm going to slide it through the front, and I'm going to leave it loose right now because I can't tighten it until I put the camera on. And then after I do that, I'm going to get my matte box. So I'm going to leave this, put this down for a second, get my matte box. Here's the matte box. There are 3 pieces for the matte box, and normally the ridge side should be facing inward opposed to outward. If you get it wrong, is there a horrific problem with that? No. I think to a degree it's aesthetics, to a degree it's just being consistent. And sometimes people get really frustrated by, and we want to see how there's a part that angles up a little bit more. That angled up part should be able to, so this angled up part is going to be on the left side of the matte box. The flatter part should be on the bottom. And a lot of times people say, you know, I feel like when I'm pushing I'm going to break it. Well, unfortunately I think it's just going to be a little bit of common sense. If it looks like it's bending, don't do it. If it looks like it's working, just give it a little more push and you'll be okay. But, you know, again, it's just making sure that you're using enough force to put it on, but if you're using so much force it looks like you're compromising the structure of it, don't do it. Okay, so I've got my matte box. It's going to go in front of my follow focus. This goes on my shoulder, and then I should be able to slide it through. Sometimes these things are a little finicky, but it looks like I got it right in the first time. That's impressive. So I still don't tighten it on. I put it on and I don't screw anything in firmly until I put that camera on. So once I put the camera on, like so, I put it over here, and then once the camera's screwed in, then I can adjust where my follow focus is. And here's a cool thing too, in the back there is a screw that determines the height of the matte box. And you can make this higher or lower to accommodate your lens, and then once that's all set, you tighten the left and right hand screw to fit the matte box appropriately over the lens. So that's pretty much it. I think a lot of it is, to a degree, common sense. I think that you just want to know that, okay, if something doesn't feel right or something doesn't feel like it's tightening, it's probably not working. And then after that, it's just really doing it over and over again until you feel like you have it in your muscle memory. But otherwise, this should be good. So if you have any tips, if you have any questions, post them below. Otherwise, I hope this helped out in using this phenomenal matte box attached to this body, attached to the arm follow focus. This is a great rig for a DSLR. I like it a lot.